DC here. Hi guys and gals. It's Friday and I'm out walking. It's going to be a hot day today. We're going towards a week of very hot weather. The last 2 weeks, it's been not bad actually. It's been actually very comfortable. It was rarely above 25 Celsius and a bit of rain every now and then, so it was nice. But now we're going for a week that's going to be in the 30s Celsius. I'll let you search yourself if you're from the Fahrenheit world. But anyway, it's hot. Today it's going to go up to 29, but now it is, let me see, it's still 22. You know, we often used to say, oh, it's the warmest at noon. Over here it's about probably 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon. That's when we get to the warmest. It's going to go up to 29 today. That's at least what they say here. Yeah, so the fields are looking nice on both sides, and that's what's kind of nice of walking here, because the farmer, depending on what he puts, I mean, he can put 2, sometimes even up to 3 different types of plants or vegetables or whatever. And every year he changes, you know, so he rotates the crops as one should. It's a big thing over here, of course. Agriculture, even though Switzerland is not an agricultural country, we do have a big agricultural heritage. And one does not become a farmer who wants. What I mean by that is that unless you've inherited something, excuse me, you have to do what they call a federal degree, which is kind of like a trade, and you know, to be recognized as a farmer. The main problem is that as everything is so expensive here, farms very much have to go from one family to another, because almost nobody is able to buy a farm. Or I have read somewhere that they're like rented out by the communities, so the towns or something. And so a bit in the same way, you know, that like a long-term lease or something. But I mean very long-term, like decades or something like that. Anyway, I mean, that's about all I know. I mean, I know quite a bit about the milk industry and so on, but all the rules and regulations to being a farm owner, I don't know that really. Yeah, somebody was asking me not too long ago where we were going on vacation this year. Now you have to see that over here in Switzerland, it's kind of like a given that you're going to leave the country and go somewhere. Switzerland's a small country, so people tend to take a plane or the train or whatever and leave the country, go somewhere else. It's a mountainous country, so people tend to go to the sea. And I remember when we were here, the kids were still small. Well, sometimes we'd go to Canada, yes, but other times we'd just stay around in Switzerland. And people look at us like weirdos. And I said, you know, we weren't born here, and there's just so much to see here. But then I realized, especially with age, is that it was not only the question of getting like to the sea or something like that. It's because people wanted to be able to afford luxuries in their vacation period, and it's very difficult to afford luxuries in Switzerland. Switzerland is just so darn expensive, you know. It's overall a good place to live, but like I say, I've said that many times, it's just very, very expensive. Albeit, I was reading a Facebook post, this week probably, where someone mentioned the price of their rent. Now, I won't get into the details because I don't want to, you know, disclose who it was and so on. But those prices were the same as here. I'm talking about the United States. And it was for me rather scary, because I thought, like, okay, I know wages are good in America, but it's like there's really both sides of the coin, aren't there? And you know, rents are often well, a big part of your salary. And if your salary is close to non-existent, well, you can be worried. Mind you, it's the same over here. Rents have gone up so much that people up to a certain age, either they don't have kids or they just simply live a group, flatmates, as we call it, over here. And I know people that are, there's one of those cargo bikes, flatmates that, up to, goodness, in their 30s are still living together, people who've decided not to have children. There's a lot, actually, more and more people that are going that way. And one of the very, very simple reasons is they just can't afford anything else. Someone wrote a comment the other day asking me, about talking about investing and stuff. It's kind of amusing because no one would ever come to me to ask for, financial, financial counsel, just counseling the person in finances and so on. I've never been, I've never been a consultant in that respect, by far not. But I would say one thing though, is that when you are getting like in the years preceding retirement, and if you have had a job where you have over the years, we call it invest funds. In America, they're called, I think, the 401k, and in Canada, I believe they're called arrears. I don't know what they're called in other countries, but you know what I mean. Those are things that you put money in it. You can put so much a year, and you're not paying income tax on the amount that you put in there for that year. Well, there's a flip side, as there always is when it's financial stuff, is that in Switzerland, at least, you have to close those accounts around retirement. I guess you can have like a year or so on each side, but you've got to do it then. And then the money you've put in there, you can either, you can do what you want with it, put in an investment fund or something. But that is the big thing though. That's another cargo bike, there's a whole bunch of them. But the big thing though is that even though you had not paid income tax on your income, so it went out of the income, so at a higher bracket, you're still paying a flat rate when it comes out. So here you are at retirement. Now, if you're not careful, and I had not been careful for one of those things, you get an enormous, and I mean enormous bill that is way out of your budget that you have to take care of. And these are taxes. As we say, there's two things that you can count on in life. You will die and you will have taxes. And taxes, you got to pay them. So this is one thing you really have to take into account. And the fact is that unless you're retiring at the beginning or the end of a year, you're going to be paying, at least in the Swiss system, you'll be paying income tax on the year that you are still making money in the year where you don't have it. So your first year of retirement is just a sinkhole. You don't have any revenue anymore, but there's all these extra expenses that are coming. And if you don't take that into account, I've known people that have had to, had a house or something, or something that they really loved and had to sell it to be able to take care of these financial things. It's not an amusing thing. And I believe that in any country, if you're able, I say that, if you're able or plan, because you're going to get screwed on that retirement year. So you might as well bite the bullet, and you're going to have to take care of it. So yeah. And added to that, if you've got any unexpected expenses, I had some dental expenses on my side, and Mrs. DC as well. So you add all those up, and our first year of retirement is like, wow, So back to vacation, who's going to take a vacation this year? And I've already told you we've got this change our heating system. So I've got a whole program, of those retirement funds that's going into that, because once again, we have to go into a sustainable system, anyway. So like I say, there's big advantage. I just saw 10 minutes. There's big advantages living here, but there's big financial disadvantages if you don't take care of how your life is going on a few years ahead of time. Okay, so I ended up finally talking about finance stuff as well. So yeah, well, I should really stop because I'm up to 10.5 minutes. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Have a good Friday. Bye-bye.